about a couple of differences between teachers who don't hold a teaching certificate and those who do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is generalising, but I think there are more than a couple. I mean, your question is basically about what does the IHC or the CELTA, give you in terms of practical teaching abilities, and I think there are a number of things. I think if you have a qualification like that, it helps you to plan a well-structured, logical, purposeful lesson, which is very much focused on clear linguistic and communicative aims. So the idea that a lesson is a kind of a purposeful event that moves somewhere rather than just being a collection of activities. So planning is one thing. Then in terms of practical techniques, there's a very big emphasis on just learning different practical ways of clarifying language, for example. So if you're teaching grammar, how can you teach grammar without just lecturing the learners? Well, an IHC or a CELTA will give you a number of different possible answers to that question in the form of different techniques. When you're teaching vocabulary, how can you teach vocabulary without just translating? Again, on these courses you learn lots of different ways of coping with that sort of thing. How do you help learners with skills? How do you help learners develop specific reading skills or listening skills? How do you help learners who are reluctant to speak? So there's a whole range of practical techniques that you learn on either an IH certificate course or a CELTA. And I suppose more generally, you learn a lot about supplementing the course book. Most of us, I think, teach using published materials of some kind, and these courses help you to see what the flaws in those materials can be, what the gaps are, and how you can adapt them to make them more exciting and more effective and more appealing to your particular group of learners.
Do you think that these skills can be acquired through experience, or is it important for a trainer to actually participate in a workshop that presents these skills and the benefits that they have?
It must be possible to acquire them through experience, because I guess somebody originally discovered them, but that can be a very, very long process. I think that would be a lifelong process, really. So it just makes sense to attend training and to benefit from the expertise of other people. I think it just accelerates the progress a great deal. I mean, I would say personally, I think some sort of methodological training is always necessary. I don't believe, for example, that you can be a brilliant teacher purely on the basis of experience and without any kind of training at all.